I know what that means, right? An increase in charges means that you're going to be paying more for your meat. You're watching Business Live. Let's turn to tourism now. The AU has revealed that African countries have lost 55 billion US dollars in revenues from travel and tourism in 3 months. Tourism represents 10% of Africa's GDP, and the livelihoods of 24 million African families are linked to travel and tourism. The AU warns the impact on air industry will be severe. Take a look at those numbers there. Airlines have seen 95% drop in revenues, or about $8 billion. That's African airlines. So some statistics from the AU on the impact of COVID-19 on travel and tourism. Let's make sense of these numbers. Let's get some perspective from the people in the business. I'm joined by CEO of Munta Travel Limited, Radia Adamasani. She's joined me with some perspective on this. Great to have you on the program tonight. So AU is pointing out that travel and tourism has lost $55 billion in revenue in 3 months. I guess that is the story of every travel and tour operator, losses. Tell me more. If you can unmute, Radia, looks like you are muted. If you can unmute so we can...
Yeah, I'm on now.
Great, fantastic. So I guess that is the story of every travel and tour operator experiencing losses at this point.
You are absolutely right. All the way from the upstreams to the downstreams and to the middle streams, everyone has been affected in the tourism sector, more especially the travel agents and the airline operators. It's a global thing. We've heard in the news that Europe is opening its borders starting from 1st of July, but it's been, they're actually more like seeking out certain countries that they feel it's still more, it still possesses more danger in terms of health. And so they're actually choosing which countries they prefer to or they feel it will be safe for them to enter into their country. Unfortunately, Ghana and Nigeria have been exempted from that. We don't blame them. They're absolutely right. If our borders are open and we are still not permitted to enter Europe, even though it was small market, but it's just a signal to the Ghanaian government that finally when our border is also being open, we shouldn't just open it to every country at once. We should be able to have an internal process to be able to determine which country is safer to get into our country and which country we need to hold on for now, despite the fact that it still doesn't fetch us any form of revenue. And so we are in difficult times. These are general. As for the losses, the revenues and everything, we already know. We have accepted as travel agents that 2020 is just a bad year, and we are actually cancelling that total out of our business, the whole of 2020. So in case by the end of the year we get a bit of business to do, then we would be grateful for that. But rather than that, we are just grateful for, we are just, we've stuck our minds that 2020 is total out of our calendar in terms of tourism and aviation.
Okay, well, to your point about the EU travel ban, the fact that Ghana has been excluded, how do you say it would impact on travel and tour operators? If you can give us an idea, for instance, for you, whether you facilitate travel, tourism travels to Europe, how is that going to be of an impact to your business? Plus, what does it say about our efforts to fight the COVID-19 pandemic? Because the decision was really based on management, how countries are effectively managing. So it turns out if we are not doing better, EU wouldn't open up for us to travel over there.
In terms of the negative impact, at the moment, there are no tour packages being organized at the moment, and all airports are still closed, all borders are still closed. And so we feel that the best way to earn some revenues at the moment is to encourage domestic tourism. Every country should be concerned about their citizens discovering other parts of their country rather than internationally. So domestic tourism is something that we've never really paid much attention to. And this just gives us that opportunity to improve upon our domestic tourism. How do we achieve this now? Now, most of our tourist sites are poor in terms of infrastructure. The roads to certain areas in terms of tourism is totally bad and all that. And so we need authorities to assist in getting these places to be more attracted to the Ghanaian populace so that we can encourage and then market Ghana to our fellow Ghanaians and then improve upon our domestic tourism for now. That is the only way by which government, we the tour operators and the citizens can all benefit in terms of tourism. So
I guess that is where the concentration of most travel and tour operators will be. But in developing our domestic tourism facilities or tourist facilities, that is like a very huge project which will take so much time. Talk to me about the interests, whether people are really interested in visiting our local sites.
People are interested, but there's one thing Ghanaians we've got to know now. Now, tourism goes beyond just having a look at waterfalls or mountains or anything like that. So just for the fact that you have traveled out of your country, out of your city to another region just to see how that region looks like and go with your family to get a comfortable hotel to stay in for about 3 days vacation or something, is enough in terms of tourism. But when you look at the hotel rates in Ghana, it's extremely expensive. Everywhere, hotel rates are very expensive here in Ghana, and citizens complain a lot. Now, there are a lot of people, I would personally like to discover, let's say, perhaps Volta region. But I know I don't have any family member in Volta region. I do not have any friend in Volta region now who will host me in Volta region. If I do not patronize hotel service there, there's no way I would have the interest in the first place to even travel there. And if I look at the rates of hotels in the Volta region, or let's say any other parts of Ghana, that alone is very discouraging. And so it's high time GTA, that's Ghana Tourism Authority, try to regulate pricing. Dubai does this. Even Dubai, of all Dubai, have very low rates when it comes to their hotels, and more especially for their own citizens. They have very low rates for international tourists, and they have an extremely low rate for their citizens. So for us to promote domestic tourism and to achieve that aim, then it's high time our hotel facilities have a look at restructuring their pricing system in order to attract Ghanaians.
There's a lot of work to do, Radia. And thanks very much for speaking to us on Business Live. We really appreciate it. And for all those of us looking to travel outside the country, try our local tourist sites. You will amaze you what you'd find. Grateful for your time.